Do not adjust your computers, your smart TVs, your iPhones, your Apple, your smartphones, whatever. Don't adjust. I know. It's Saturday and there's an all Burgundy and Go Errrything podcast. Hey man, we had to do it. We had to do it for the people. You're listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the urban sports scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. I'm Wole and I'm joined by my guy George. The homie Glen's going to be out. What's going on, guy?
It's a beautiful Saturday, Breeders' Cup Saturday. Some good college football too. Having a good day.
I'm glad you're having a good day. You know what I mean? Like now, the game is tomorrow. We'll talk about the game tomorrow because we had, George, my man George had a fire topic. I know I wasn't able to be on the show on Thursday, so we made sure and a lot of folks were going to be out, so we decided to cancel. And I was like, you know what, that topic is too important to like wait for it. Like it's a good question to have. So we're gonna talk about this topic. We're gonna break down this topic eventually. What's going on, Coach? Coach Lombard's in the building.
Coach.
He's in the building. What's going on? All right, man, before we get to this topic, we got to knock out some logistics. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything. And hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Errrything. Make sure you subscribe to the All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our show. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. We are also streaming live on the Urban Sports Team X account. So make sure if you're on X, you know where to find us. Anyway, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We're going to debate whether we think the Commanders should be buyers or sellers at the NFL trade deadline. All right, George, with the NFL trade deadline being next Tuesday, are the Commanders close enough to playoff contention to justify buying at the trade deadline, or does their record suggest it's time to sell and focus on the future?
It is time to sell, even if they win tomorrow night. Because, yes, they win tomorrow night, they'll have a tiebreaker over Seattle. They're still going to be 2-4 in the NFC, and they're still going to be in a situation where 10 wins probably won't be enough. And see, that's rarely where my argument centers around, is that when you look at the situation in the NFC right now, they're in the wild card pool for sure. They're not winning the NFC East unless some really screwy things happen. They're not even the second place team in the NFC East right now.
Yeah.
And they're not playing well enough to be that. So it's like you have to put that out of your mind and say, okay, who's in the wild card pool? Well, Detroit's in the wild card pool. They do play them. It's going to be a pretty tough game. Chicago's in the wild card pool. They've already lost to them, so forget that. Atlanta's in the wild card pool still. I know people think they're going to probably fall apart, but they lose the tiebreaker with them. You're talking about this team's got to win 7 out of their last 9 just to get to 10 wins, and it isn't going to be enough. I'll tell you, it's just – we've got to be – well, that's probably me booming and yelling and carrying on, Paul. I apologize for being too loud.
It's good. He's at a party, so you know it's good. It's good he can hear you. Go ahead.
Well, and it's just this sucks what's happened this year. We've wasted a year of Jaden Daniels at a cheap price, and you don't want to do that because you only get so many of those before you have to give him his money. But you can set yourself up for next year. Let's face it. I know the record's been mixed, but I do trust Adam Peters to build this team through the draft. And we did what we did in this offseason because we got to the NFC Championship game. We had some pretty obvious holes that we didn't think we could fill in the draft, so we tried to fill them in trade. And let's face it, even if Lattimore is a big minus, Laramie Tunsil's a big plus. I don't think there's any Commanders fan that wouldn't give him a contract extension today.
Yeah.
If it came right down to it. And even if you're not happy with Debo because of the last few weeks, that's injury related. Before the injury, Debo was a big plus, and I think a lot of people were talking about giving him a contract extension. I'm probably a little cooler on that than some. But even still, he was producing what you needed him to produce until the last couple of weeks. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go whole hog in this draft. Here's another point. If we're not making the playoffs, we're going to be drafting higher than we thought. Because we all thought, okay, we're going to be this really great team. We're going to be in the 20s, maybe even the high 20s. That's one thing. We might be drafting at 15 or 16. And there might be somebody that somebody else wants where we can move back and get more picks. I want to put this in Adam Peters' hands that way. Sure, we're going to do some stuff in free agency. I have no doubt about it. We're still one of the teams with the most cap space in the NFL. But we need to focus on the draft. We need to get more youth in here. We need to get this roster younger. That's the only way we're going to get to be a championship team either the next year or the following year.
I like this is kind of where I'm at too. But Paul, I think all kind of all registers of what you do tomorrow. To be real with you, to a certain extent, where I will lean with it, because if you show promise tomorrow, that's a whole different. It changes the whole perspective on what people are going to think about if they need to buy or sell. I feel all right. So it's still early for me to kind of say they should buy or sell. I do feel like they should be more inclined to stay put. If that makes any sense. Because of. And if you're going to sell the right player, sell the player like Lattimore to get a draft pick or something like that. Guys, you're not going to sign back. Like, I feel like if that's the case, you're going to go that route. Guys, that won't be back in your building the following year. Like, you pretty much have a good idea. Like, all right, we're not going to have this guy, regardless of whatever reason. If they have value, they should be traded, because you do need to build on some draft picks and collateral. George, Timothy has a question for you. Says, George, what are your thoughts on Terry McLaurin being out again?
I am in a bad place with that, because we got a glimpse of him being a top 10 wide receiver again. But I'm in a bad place with him because, again, this has got something to do with how the offseason went. But I'm looking at the trainers and the medical staff. He comes off with an injury against the Raiders that doesn't look that serious and misses 5 weeks. He comes back on and makes one really, really hard catch, and now he's off, and now he's out again. And I'm guessing it's probably going to be multiple weeks again. Timothy, I am extraordinarily frustrated with the whole situation. And I'm just disappointed that we let it get this far, whether it's the agents and Terry's fault, whether it's Adam's fault. We're beyond that now, because it's happened. Well, there's no use crying over spilled milk when it comes to that. I just hope that next year, that whatever he needs to do in the offseason to get himself physically ready so we don't go through this again, he better do it. He better be at the mini camps. He better be at the mandatories. He needs to be doing everything he needs to be doing in regular camp when it comes. None of his club DQ stuff for him next year.
I do think it hinders, plays a part, but also injuries happen. Like, we've had people that went to camp, did everything, and big time hamstring pull situations. Like, look what happened to Dorrance Armstrong, Jayden Daniels. Players are falling down with hamstring injuries, which is wild to me. So injuries do happen. I don't want to, a part of it is, I feel you got to condition your body, but also, to be honest with you, they happen. So it's hard for me to say, I'm not putting onus on the injury being a reason of everything. He pulled a quad. That's what it is. He pulled a quad, and exerting himself, trying to make the extra. He pulled a quad going extra on a play on that sideline when he made that diving catch with a knee down. He went and exerted himself extra just to make a play. So actually, if you want to be real, he sacrificed himself for that play, to be real with you. Go ahead.
The problem is he's done that twice now.
So
it's now both resulted.
My question on the flip side, if he did that and if he went to camp and got hurt, would this be a discussion?
No, it wouldn't be. If he went to camp and did everything he was supposed to,
and still got hurt. But that happens. My thing is, players that went to camp and gotten hurt. So
that's true.
So why are we?
That's true. But we know that we know that if you don't do the things you're supposed to do in the offseason, this is the kind of thing that happens. We've seen it so many times.
Let me give you an example. I'm gonna give you a question. Jamar Chase, like there's players who held out and didn't get hurt. It's not a guarantee that you're gonna get hurt if you
It's
hold
not
out.
a guarantee, but a higher probability.
How many other people have you seen that happen to other than Terry McLaurin recently? Up to mind, I think because I feel like people
Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk in San Francisco.
Towards ACL, which is not a tissue injury. That's an actual real injury. He got his knee blew out. That's a real injury. Like I'm talking about like hamstring, like how many players, like an ACL is totally different than you can't.
I understand that.
As an individual who's blown his knee out, like I'm gonna be real, as an individual who's blown his knee out, that an ACL isn't practice. It's not a practice thing. Because Chase Young blew his knee out going to practice.
No, that's true. I mean, again, this is a guy that hasn't missed a game for 5 years.
No, I agree.
And is now going to miss 7, 8, 9, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's not with a serious injury, it's with a quad injury.
This is the most important thing. This is the most important thing. This is what I believe. Like this is what the holdout and getting help out is the optics of the situation. That's what it is.
Well,
if you're gonna say the
optics matter.
Yeah, if you're gonna say optics, but I'm just saying injuries aren't like the degree of injuries. Like for instance, I don't use Brandon Ayuk. I don't use Brandon Ayuk's ACL injury against. I think that's that's a football injury. That's a legit football real injury. Like when you blow your ACL, that's a whole different thing. But Taj has a question. Taj says, can you see a scenario where the team could trade Terry if the compensation is to their liking, or releasing? Don't think it will happen. They're not releasing Terry. This is not even a real question. Like,
the compensation is what would be the compensation to their liking? Because the
releasing part I'm saying is not a thing. But I do believe,
I want to address that first part.
Because first part.
That's an interesting question, Taj. What's to their liking? Because it's one of those situations, and we see it in the NBA all the time. A player is more valuable to the team he's on than the team that's trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
So the team that tries to trade for him gives a fairly reasonable offer, and the team that he's on is like, hell no, that's not even close.
Fact.
So years back, before he signed the very first contract extension, when it looked briefly like he might be available, there were teams that were ready to offer 2 first-rounders for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure Washington would ask for a first rounder, and I'm sure that nobody would even pick the phone up and talk to them. So I think you're talking about, at best, a 3rd-round pick for Terry McLaurin or a 4th-round pick. And that's just, you think the optics are bad now, just do that and see what would happen.
Well, I mean, let me be totally bluntly honest in terms of an NFL team. No one's trading for an injured player. That's just what it is. Let me just be real. Like I'm not even. It don't matter who you are, unless real talk. Unless you're Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase or something. No one's trading for in that position, or Justin Jefferson. No one's trading for an injured receiver. That's just what it is. Let's just put that there. I can see the team making a move if a team they're not only in the off season trading Terry in the off season. No one's trading Terry. Let me also be real. That's not even a thing. Taj, we talked about this. Wide receivers in the NFL draft, not with the quad, and wide receivers in the NFL draft are elite off the rip. You're better off trying to drafting a wide receiver than in the 1st and 2nd round than trading for Terry McLaurin now. To be real with you,
absolutely,
you can get a guy that you feel like could be maybe special in the first 2 rounds. And younger and have more control of the years. You know what I mean? Mike says trade Terry now. Yeah, Mike, you hid from me after the game. I like that though, Mike. You hid from me. You did hide from me. And he was on YouTube talking about Terry, and I was like, bro, you missed the whole conversation. You missed it. Like you did it on purpose. I know, Mike. You didn't fall asleep because you told me you was gonna stay awake, so it's all good. I ain't mad at you though, my guy. I know what time it is with you. I know what time it is. Go ahead. We can go back to the discussion. But go ahead, George. What you want?
Well, no, I just want to say this: the best thing to do is to get Terry healthy. Hopefully, he plays again this year. I don't know at this point. Hopefully, he comes back next year, and he's the wide receiver he's been his whole career here. Because then, if you want to talk about trading him, I think he would have value next year. Not as much as we would want, but he would have some. And the Terry thing puts me in a bad place because all of this could have been avoided, and I'm frustrated that it wasn't. And it's one of the reasons. It's one of the things that contributed to this team's downfall so far, because that was a bad step. That was a bad way to start camp. And then there were other bad things that happened, and it's one bad step followed by another, by another, by another. And that's
Pause.
what I feel like the season's been.
Pause said sell Payne.
Yes. 100%
Wow.
yes.
Sell Payne.
Payne's got value.
Okay.
Payne can help somebody. You'll get something for him. It might only be a 3rd or 4th round pick, but that's valuable to somebody like Adam Peters, who's had a lot of success drafting in that part of the draft. So sell Payne. Yes, sir.
That's why
there's a market for Payne.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I can't talk to you football. Talk football with you. This is like no NFL scout would ever say this or do this. Like we can't talk football no more, Mike. I'm just gonna look at you as a Luke McCaffrey. Look, I'm gonna hold this. Everybody, you see this right here. I want y'all, everybody who's on all platforms. This is the type of stuff my man Mike be sending me. This I'd rather have Luke than non-scary Terry. Luke McCaffrey over Terry McLaurin. Folks on all of our platforms. I hope not just YouTube. Y'all on Instagram. I want y'all to see this on Instagram, on and also X. I get this regularly from this dude. Like stuff like this. I ain't talking football with you no more, Mike. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. You're my guy. I just can't do it. Yeah, Payne can be traded now, but McComp, if you get I think it could be a second rounder.
Let's remember, we got a second rounder for Sweat because the Bears were going to sign him to an extension, and he was still on his rookie deal.
You can.
Yeah, but Payne's on a big deal.
It's
chances that Payne's going to get offered the kind of extension that he's going to be willing to sign.
His deal is wishy-washy, and he's having a great year. Like he's having a really good year.
He's having a great year. I just don't think I think it's the last year of his deal. I don't think there's a team out there that's going to trade and give him an extension. I think they'll trade for him.
Oh no, whoever like it's bad for any football team to trade for a dude on 1 year, trade for a dude on his last year. So if you trade for him, you're going to try to re-sign him. That's a guarantee. No team.
I disagree with it because Payne's a veteran, and if you're going for a Super Bowl run, that's the kind of player you need for a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, but no one does rentals like that in the NFL unless you're a stacked team like you're the Eagles. Other than the Eagles, no one does rentals. There's a reason why when Chicago got think about everybody we traded. All right, Chase Young was on a year to New Orleans. Is he? I mean, the San Fran?
He was on the last year of his rookie deal.
Last year rookie deal for San Fran, a Super Bowl contender. That's a Super Bowl team. That's a different type of team. I'm just saying, like, when you're going on, depending on if you're telling me Chase Young to the Eagles, Payne to like the Eagles, I agree with you. Payne to Kansas City, I would agree with you. Payne to those type of teams, totally agree with you. Payne to like a team like comparable like to the Chicago Bears, you're probably getting a second rounder.
I guess I think with somebody like Payne, I think that is one that could be a rental.
Dallas would definitely sign time to an extension. A team like Dallas.
You think so?
Okay. Yes, it would be dumb practice. Let me be real with you. It's dumb practice. If you're not going to the Super Bowl, it's dumb practice to sign a dude for a
rental. Okay. Well, but Dallas is another team that shouldn't be trading for anybody. They might because they're stupid.
Thank you.
They shouldn't be trading for anybody either with their team.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I mean, look, if somebody's going to give a second round pick for Daron Payne, great. I do think he's the kind of guy that fits a rental because he's on a second contract, and I'm not sure anybody would offer him the kind of extension that he would be willing to sign because he could think he could get a better deal in free agency.
No, Payne knows his market.
Part of a Super Bowl run.
For what I know, Payne knows his market. He knows his market.
Okay.
He knows his market. He knows he's not going to get the same deal. Not to the Niners. Yes, that would be a 1 year deal. That would be, yeah. To the Niners,
and
that
I'm
would
not
be
surprised we haven't heard rumors of that.
The Niners are different. Here go question. Here go. Taj, does Payne qualify for a compensatory pick if he walks in the offseason? He should.
He would, but remember, if we sign other teams' players, that can affect the formula.
Yeah.
So
he should.
Maybe if they know they're not going to make any big splashes in free agency, then I don't have a problem letting Payne walk.
Dallas they got crash out and
Dallas don't need receivers.
They don't, Terry. Listen, Mike, you just saying stuff now. Mike, I'm about to stop showing your stuff. I want real questions from you, Mike. All right. I want real questions. Stop showing I don't need this spam stuff. I got one from Lattimore and Payne checks are good. Yeah, I agree. Lattimore and Payne. Hey, we're not doing insults, coach. You gotta be real. All right, you want here? You want a commander show?
Lattimore's one. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Any other options?
It'd be nice if he could make a few more plays Monday night to get his value up.
I mean, I would say
there's a lot of bad tape for him out there.
I would say, there's rumors that the Bears, and Paul said it to me. There's rumors that the Bears would be interested because Dennis Allen coached them in New Orleans. I would say I don't know what pick that would be. I would guess a fourth or fifth rounder.
That's what I would say.
I think what did Jair Alexander get today? Was it a seventh? Hey, coach, what was the seventh?
It wasn't much, and he's been terrible this year.
Yeah, so I think if you do that, at least a couple slots down, fifth or fourth for Lattimore. I would say, dang,
Jair, a seventh round pick to the Eagles for a sixth.
Yeah, for a sixth.
That ain't much.
Yeah. Oh, you can probably for the right team a sixth.
Actually, it was Jair in a 2027.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even a 2026 pick. It's a 2027 pick.
Yeah.
Going to the Ravens for.
You may be able to finagle it. I would say, all right, I would say this. If you don't think, and this is all about the organization, if you don't think you can sign Deebo Samuel, you trade Deebo Samuel.
Well, absolutely.
If you don't think you're going to some of these guys you brought in, if you don't think, I think Laramie Tunsil will be back because that's a Jaden need because of the left tackle. But
this is not a good draft for tackles, apparently.
Yeah,
so.
It's not. If that's the case, I feel like then you're going to sell. But again, back on a buyer or sell situation. I just feel like they should stay put. They're doing, I feel like if there's an offer that knocks their socks off, then they got to entertain it. To be real with you, they have to anything non-jading, you got to kind of entertain. I'm in that realm. You got to entertain.
Yeah,
Frankie Louvu, you can entertain it too. Louvu, you can entertain it. Wyatt Wagner, you should entertain it. Would I extend Deebo? Yeah, I would extend Deebo. I would.
And I would not, as of right now.
I would extend.
It's Deebo. Close. It's very close, but I would not.
I'm not going into the season with Terry and Luke McCaffrey as my 1 and 2. When you talking about drafting a receiver?
We're drafting a receiver in the draft.
All right, I'm with it.
No doubt about it.
Taz, Wole, George, the Dolphins are having a fire sale. Yeah, so
absolutely, and they should.
All right, if we're buying, if we are going to buy, right? Let's go to the next thing. If we are going to buy. What would you be interested in getting? What position would you be interested in getting, George?
Oh God!
Not even a player position.
It would probably be wide receiver right now. I hate to say it, because of the situation with Terry and Deebo. We don't know how. We know Terry's out already tomorrow. Yeah. Deebo, if he plays, is probably not.
He's going to play. And I've heard. No, I'm going to stop you there. So he's going to play, and he looks good. From what I've heard, he looks good.
Oh, I hope that's good.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Fingers on that.
All right, so go ahead. But go ahead though. Go ahead.
That would be one. Timothy, you're right about edge rusher, but the problem is I don't see a lot of edge rushers that sort of fit the bracket we're shopping in because we ain't shopping at the top of the market here. Mm-hmm. You're not. Brandon Hendrickson's hurt, so that's kind of out anyway. But it's even if Hendrickson was healthy, we're not doing that.
That's too much.
And I'm trying to think of who the other edges out there.
All right, so I'll help you out.
Potentially available.
I'll help you out. I know some. So you got and Paul, we talked about this too. So you got but you're not going to give. We have Chubb in Miami, which that's going to probably be it's going to be too high. The price is too high. Because you're talking about giving up a second rounder. You're not giving up a second. And I'm being nice when I say second rounder. Because Chubb is that effective at the end. Then you got Phillips also on that team, which I do think that's a possibility depending on how you package it and rotate it. There's somebody, but again, that's a third rounder. I think that's a third, fourth rounder. And again, this team is kind of missing picks. I like I think Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. I think that's a good option because he's out there on the market. Yeah, fifth and fourth. We'll go for a fifth and fourth and fifth. Yeah, I think they would need their fourth because they're missing. But that's a good one though. I think I would entertain that, a 4th and 5th for Phillips. I would. Yeah, we don't have a second rounder, so we just got a one. Yeah, exactly. So we got to be really careful what we're trying to what we trade. But also, but I feel like it has to be the right. If it's good, if you're gonna make that pull that trigger, it has to be the right, like the right player, right? It's got to be a player of impact. That way, you don't feel bad losing that pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of the fact, it's
What
got
about
to be.
linebacker help? Because that's got to be on the list too. Because
You think
I'm sorry, we
linebackers?
just can't
You
have
know,
Wagner
linebackers.
playing
You, I got.
90% of the snaps
You think
anymore.
linebackers worse than edge rusher? What do you? Because edge rush. What do you think?
I mean, I think they're both kind of equal in the sense that I if we keep throwing poor old Wagner out there for 90% of the plays and throwing him in coverage, we're going to get the same results we've got the last several weeks. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow night, him trying to cover a running back out of the backfield, or God forbid he somehow ends up on JSN, something crazy like that. So linebacker is, and again, it feels like maybe that market might be a little cheaper than the defensive end situation. Because again, the other thing too is if we really are trading for an edge rusher, everybody's going to know we're going to be desperate, and that's going to drive the price up.
Well, I'll say this much. I mean, in terms of linebacker, I mean, you're going to slide in like to one what Todd said earlier. We're going to draft one next year anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to draft one.
Hope so.
And then
Yes.
we got Jordan McGee,
100%.
who they're going to give the opportunity to, who's flash. They're going to give. So they have replaced. If you think about Bobby Wagner, whoever Bobby Wagner is going to play. That's not going. Nobody's going to replace. So the issue of Bobby Wagner, if you want a linebacker, you're not going to get what you want because Bobby Wagner is going to be out there. Period. Like he's going to be out there. So it's not like the whole Bobby is wild because Bobby Wagner's like 3rd in tackling, which is crazy to me. Like which everybody keeps crucifying Bobby, but Bobby's like 3rd in tackling. But Bobby's not.
Yeah, but all his tackles are down the field. They're all 7-8 yards down the field.
Actually,
yeah, they are.
You should look at the stats. You should look at the stats. But in the run game, he's the one filling the lane. But again, it doesn't. Bobby's still going to be. It doesn't really matter. Like to Pataj's point, Bobby's on a 1-year deal, so you might as well wait that out. This is his last year on this deal. So you might as well wait that out and just draft a linebacker. You know what I mean? The interesting thing is like when people mention is like Luvu. Like if you're gonna think about trading anybody, Luvu is an interesting individual. Like that, I feel like because of how he plays. I ain't loving nobody. I'm practical. I'm just practical. Look, man, look, Mike, what did I tell you? I ain't talking to you no more, Mike. You didn't tell me you rather have Luke McCaffrey over freaking Terry McLaurin. Your football knowledge is done with me, my guy. Like we done. Like I'm just looking at you as a troller now. I'm gonna look at lucky I like you a lot. I would block you, but I'm not gonna do it. You lucky I like you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Don't be calling George out. I run the board. Don't call George out to save you. You done.
Don't you done.
Hey, deep tackles need made 2 tackles are tackles. Yeah. Tackles are tackles, yeah. Deep tackles need to be made too. Got you. Tackles are tackles. We keep talking in circles. What are we doing? Are we going younger or keep going older, trying to chase a chip that, if we being honest, we not winning? We need picks, not trading them away. I agree. Taj, I agree with you. Taj, I totally agree with you.
Absolutely.
I feel like,
and I think we are.
Go ahead, George.
And I do think Adam Peters has recognized what's happened this year, and recognized that having only 5 picks in the draft hurt, and that left things that I think would have otherwise been addressed that weren't. So for me, I would expect us to be. That's why I'm happy to sell. That's why as soon as we know what our draft position is at the end of the year, I will be on that I will be on that draft machine trying to figure out how we can move back. Move down 5, 6, 7, 8 spots, whatever it is, and acquire more draft choices, because that's what this team needs to do. And Adam Peters is somebody that likes to do that. So again, I have confidence. That changes can be made and things can be fixed, and that we're going to address these problems that we've got this year. But we've got to do it via the draft. Absolutely.
Hey, don't forget, folks, hit that like button. Also subscribe if you can. Like button, because when you hit the like button, it does well for the Commanders algorithm for us. So make sure y'all hit that like button as well. Even you, Mike, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button, buddy. All right. Indian Lake, Ohio said if Adam fire sales, he incriminates himself as not doing his job well. Adam will not fire sale. I kind of agree with that thought process. I do think if he does, I kind of agree with that. Go
Yes,
ahead. What do you think?
kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, kinda. I partially agree with that, but at the same time, Adam Peters has shown a willingness to admit a mistake. Like Dominic
Mm-hmm.
Hampton was a perfect example.
That's a
He
horrible
was a
thing.
guy that he drafted, and he wasn't. And when it didn't work, he got him out of here. I mean, look, if you want to say the mistake was letting this team be too old, that's fine
Mm-hmm.
because it's part of the reason they got to where they got. But by the same token, as we just said, when you look at the offseason trades, two of the three have been pretty good. So you can't sit here and say, well, he just set fire to a bunch of these draft picks. I was only with the Lattimore trade that you can say that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, he can. It doesn't look great to have a fire sale, but it looks even worse to not admit you're wrong and then make up for it. And it's like you don't want to be the Dolphins and some of these other teams that kept the team together that really wasn't good enough, and then all of a sudden have the bottom fall out like it has in Miami. And there's other teams where this has happened, where they've kept them together just a little too long, and then when the bottom fell out, they were really stuck. So I hope. I mean, I guess you could be correct in the sense that yeah, it doesn't look great to have a fire sale, but I would rather do that and admit that he got it wrong a little bit. And again, he didn't get it totally wrong. Than persist with a team and a roster that we clearly know is not good enough.
My man Santiago, always appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for the super chat.
Thank you, Santiago.
Says, will they chase a Lombardi next year or rebuild and develop? I think they will retool and develop next year. I'm gonna use that. I'm not gonna use the term rebuild, retool, because I do think that to George's point and to Taj's point, like Adam gambled on I guess on certain 1 year rentals or 1 year dudes and thinking maybe maybe he can they can do what they did last season. And it hasn't happened. So I do think that next year you'll see this team have more of a serious play in free agency and more of a serious play in the draft. I think they will really try to build their squad in the draft, and then in free agency they'll definitely pick the right guys. Because you gotta take, I'm gonna keep saying it, you gotta take advantage of Jaden Daniels' rookie deal. So eventually you're gonna have to sign some guys who can really make an impact, not guys that you're kind of taking a flyer on. So I feel like that will be the play next season. Todd said, I disagree. I think Peter will make a move to make the team better. He just pushed his chips in, and injuries called us out, and poor coaching. Thank God for 1 year contracts. In fact,
The last two parts, especially. I just want, because the injuries is one thing. You've got to try to plan for those as best you can. We didn't have the draft capital or enough of a roster to begin with to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, but the poor coaching, that is really above everything else. That is why we are where we are. And thank God for 1 year contracts. That too is spot on, 100%. But the poor coaching is number one, because even with all the trouble we've had, the coordinators, the two coordinators doing the right kind of things, we could be 1 or 2 games better off and be in a better position than what we are.
Oh yeah, Mike. That's funny, Mike. Coach Lombard sent me a list of dudes he thinks. Wait. Guys are selling at the deadline. He says, Josh, Marcus Mariota, Chris Moore, Zach Ertz, Noah Brown. No one's taking Noah Brown because he's always hurt.
Yeah, nobody's taking Noah Brown. Nobody's taking Zach Ertz either.
Yeah, not either. Von Miller, not really. I don't think they are.
Mm-mm.
Noah, I can see that. Deron Payne. And the rest, I'm not going to read the other. Like Preston Smith,
to me, Payne is the most tradable chip we've got.
Yeah, and Drake Jackson ain't even playing. He's a project for the Commanders. He's not being traded. He's actually he's a play for next year. He's a play for next year. And but yeah, I do think that again. I think they'll just retool next year. I think they're gonna play. Obviously, we all know like this team's gonna replay this. I mean, I feel like this team's gonna play it out. They're not gonna trade anybody for real. I'm not gonna hold you.
I think hold is most likely, but it
Yeah.
shouldn't be. And I'll say this: if I'm right about Adam Peters, he's got trade discussions maybe on the percolator if this team loses tomorrow night. Because again, at that point, at 3-6, there ain't no coming back. Because you've almost got to run the table to make the playoffs. So I do think he's got stuff percolating if this team goes down tomorrow night.
I do think, to your point, I do think they lose. I can see them trading Lattimore. I really can't see them trading Lattimore if they lose. Like I can legit see Payne. I'm not really sure about, to be real with you. But Lattimore, I definitely think I can see them trading him. Because I think Payne, there's still a need. Like you can still tell a locker. It's about a locker room too. You want to make sure because they talk about the brotherhood. That's a thing. Like everyone, it's a thing, and you don't want to lose your locker room, even going into next year. So
there's a case to be made that horse has left the barn.
But this is not. I'm gonna say this. This is not the same. I think we all gotta understand too. This is not the same organization that was run with the prior regime. Like it's different.
That's true.
They believe in something totally different than some of the fans believe in. To be totally real with you. So, in just terms of being like realistically speaking, I can see that Lattimore being gone. Like I just can't. I just can see it. I know the coaching staff likes Payne, but also it goes back to being real. To your point, George, too. It's all about, do you really believe if you're not working, I'll say this much. If you're not working on resign, because Payne's still under contract, even now, he's under contract. It's not his contract is funny. He's still under contract. It's just that it's a voidable contract. It's a voidable contract. He's under contract.
I mean,
it's just avoidable.
It's likely to be voided, is it not?
It's a voidable contract. Now, if you want to keep him, it's either you want to restructure. They have control in this situation, so no one knows what they want to do. That's how I look at it with Deron Payne. But for Lattimore, it is what it is. That's the deal. His deal is there. His deal is his deal. So this is the last year on his deal. So I can see if they lose this game, I can see him getting traded. Like I can see that. You know what I mean? I can see that. But yeah. Hey, what's going on, Slim? What's going on, my guy? But I want to pull up something we talked about a little bit before we started recording. You said receiver first, also. But yeah, like everyone has been kind of gassed up with if they're going to buy, right? We're talking about buying. We were talking about selling, but buying. If they were going to buy, and you mentioned receiver as a need. Brian Thomas Jr. is out there. Everybody knows he played with Jaden at LSU. He's rumored to be on the trading block, but I'm like, Diana, what's her last name?
Diana Marie Rossini is
like exactly that. She's not like,
we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
No, I ain't going there. I'm saying, like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she's Adam Scheffner. That's all I'm saying. She's not like her.
Well, she's as slimy as he is, but she's not as trustworthy.
But I'm talking about trustworthy. I'm just talking about trustworthy in terms of reporting, like the reporting of a rumor or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, she reported it. She reported that like Brian Thomas Jr. is on the trading block. Would you make that deal? And if you would make that deal, what would you trade? What would you be willing to trade to make that deal happen?
I will say this: it's a good time to trade for Brian Thomas Jr. because he's got to be at his lowest value because he's had a bad year. He's disgruntled. He's disgruntled. It's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear that him and Liam Cohen don't mix.
Uh-huh.
So, and maybe I don't know if that's Liam Cohen's offense or his personality or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'd be happy to buy low on Brian Thomas Jr. because he's a mega talent. You saw what he did his rookie year. You know what him and Jaden did together at LSU. They could be formidable. That would be a formidable quarterback to wide receiver connection at the NFL level. But let's face it, we don't have a second round pick, and we ain't trading a first round pick.
Yeah.
And I think they would want a first round pick. I don't think anybody would give it to him.
I ain't going.
So then you're talking about Do you go to 2027 and say we give you a 2027 second?
Oh, you
That's
talking
not
about?
the greatest idea either. But do you do that, or do you do 2026 third, 2027 fourth? I could see the argument for that, but again, then we're sort of doing to ourselves what we did last year when we took, because we felt like we had to make deals to address serious needs, and we made them. The Lattimore deal, the Tunsil deal, the Debo deal. So
go ahead.
that's where I'm at with that. And I'm and again, I really like the idea of Jaden and Brian Thomas Jr. together, but I really hate the idea of trading away draft choices.
All right, Paul said trade the 3rd and 5th for Brian and a 5th in 2027. I don't even know if that's going to be good enough, but that's Paul wants that. I know Paul wants that. Mike says, to be honest, Wole, he would be better.
I thought you weren't putting up his.
No, I got him. No, this is legit. This makes sense. This ain't a bad one. This ain't a bad one. I'm just gonna trash it. I'm just gonna trash it. It's not a bad one. I'm not gonna trash it. I would say this much: if you hate Terry, have you watched Brian Thomas Jr. play this year, Mike? I know you're in the Florida area. Have you watched him play this year? You should look at like not even yards. Look at the drops. I think you would be, if he came here and did the same exact thing, you would be saying Luke is better, you would be wrong, but you would say Luke is better than him, and you would be wrong though, but you would say it. That's how many passes he's dropped this year. I think he's up there in the league in most drops this year. I could be wrong though. He could be up there. He's dropped a lot of passes this year. You have. So you saw all the drops? Have you seen all the drops? All right, just making
sure. They're bad. I know that.
They're bad. Have you seen all the drops?
It's all over my social media timeline every week with him.
Yeah,
every week, all over my social media timeline about his drop.
I'm just being real. Like, if you're going to, that's all I'm saying. Don't trade nobody. Nobody went. Louisville, I think Louisville can get traded. DC Slim, you are very consistent. I am not gonna hold you. You got your dudes on your list, bro. I am not gonna hold you. What we got here? Danger, you done. Danger.
I was just going on what he said.
Nah, I got you.
I was just going on what he said, Michael. I don't mind your comments.
Mike, you
and I are simpatico on a few things.
Mike, I'm going to show your comments. I'm just not going to show your ignorant Luke McCaffrey's that good comment. That's all. I ain't going to do that.
I'm not petty like Wole. Don't forget that.
I just ain't going to show
I'm not King Petty.
You said Luke McCaffrey better than Terry McLaurin, dog. I ain't messing with you, dog. Matter of fact, I gotta show your comments so the world can see it and they don't think I'm lying. I gotta show your comments so the whole world can see it. I want the world to see your comments, Mike. That's why I make sure they're posted. I want the whole world to see it. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Would I trade for it? I wouldn't trade. I mean, just you mentioned like I didn't think about trading like future picks, like 2027 picks. I mean,
that's about that. We're not far off from that being
part of this. But see, the thing is I don't even. He's had such a drop in his second year as a player, and I'm not even talking about like getting open and stuff. I'm just talking about the simplistic things of being a wide receiver, right? Like the way he's dropped the ball this season, it's been really bad. Like to a point where I don't know, like I don't really know his value because it's like 1 year. You can't go off of just 1 year, and you can't go off of 1 year in the league, right? Because you don't know if that's real or fake. 1 year doesn't, you know what I mean? Real or fake.
Well, I mean, that's why I wouldn't go beyond a third and say then a pick next year.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who the real. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Because the argument that anybody can make that's going to trade for him is gone. Hey, we're taking because here's the other thing. The other reason that came up, even if you think what's her face's reporting is terrible, which it is that I think there's rumblings of discontentment. Like I think Brian Thomas Jr. has been leaking to people that he's not happy with the coach and the offense and all this. And part of me wonders if the reason he's dropped so many passes this year is that he is just not engaged at all with what's going on.
Football is your money. I'm gonna be real with you. As your receiver, if you ain't getting open, if you're not running hard, that's different. Then I would agree with you. When you're flat out dropping the ball, that's just you ain't concert. That's not concentration. That's not because don't forget, like Jamar Chase, like wasn't in the beginning. He was dropping the ball initially,
Oh
but
no, I remember that
he
first
focused.
preseason when he dropped
Yeah,
everything and people were clowning.
that's a
They
focus.
were clowning him some kind of.
It don't like you not look, you not liking a quarterback, and that's not like no one know like that's just an opinion of a lot of folks. That's not a factual statement. But if you because I would say this, I'm gonna say this as an athlete. I'm gonna be real with you. Again, and anybody who's watched, if you watch Jacksonville games, because I watch them got fantasy football, so I'll be watching players. I'll be watching a bunch of games. If you are force feeding somebody and you do not like out of all the flack I give CeeDee Lamb, because I feel like the Cowboys just force feeding the ball. They make sure he gets the ball all the time. The Jacksonville Jaguars, for any reason to say you don't like a coach or whatever, dude, they force feed Brian Thomas the ball. Look at Brian Thomas's targets. If you're a receiver and you get targets, you should never be unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. It's when you don't get targets is when you should be unhappy. When you get targets, you should be happy. Very, very happy. Because they put you in a position to be successful. When are receivers really upset? Truth be told. It's when they're not getting the ball, right? Or not getting the opportunity to get the ball. He gets the opportunity to get the ball. And when he gets those opportunities, what happens? It's feast or famine. He'll drop it or he catches it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, it's not to me. I'm gonna be real with you. When you drop the football, it's a personal problem. It's an individual problem. That is not a quarterback problem. That is an individual problem. Because what it tells me is that when you are labeled a dude who can drop an easy pass, that follows you. That is part of your personality. I mean, part of your characteristic as a wide receiver. So God forbid he comes here and you can be as great and be best friends with Jayden Daniels. He starts dropping the ball here. Forget team. The fan base is going to do what? They're going to turn on him as like, why'd you trade for him?
Instantly.
Yes.
Instantly.
Exactly. So if you're Adam Peters, you're gonna look at it and like you're gonna be like, all right, you're gonna weigh that before making that trade. Truth be told, every GM is probably if he's really available, you're gonna always weigh that with him, right? You're gonna weigh, all right, year one was great and dynamic, one of the best rookie season, like probably the second best rookie. Right? Was Neighbors better than? I think he had a better year than Neighbors, to be honest with you. Like he's one, but like and Neighbors was two, right? At wide receiver last year as rookies. This season is a total drop off. Neighbors was playing with Russell Wilson. You think he liked playing with Russell Wilson? He was still putting up numbers. You think he liked playing with Russell Wilson? He really, everybody knew he liked Jackson Dart more than he liked Russell Wilson. Everybody knew it. I'm being real. But he still put up numbers. Nah, man. We don't use excuses. Like I'm not gonna put an excuse on for dropping the football. Nah, we're not doing that. If you're not running hard, I'm with you. For dropping the football, nah. Yeah, we need better teachers. We know you don't look, man. Hey, DC Slim, you know what? Look, I like you, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I do like you, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Them coaches ain't going nowhere. Maybe Witt. Dan Quinn ain't going nowhere. Cliff may go somewhere after this season. Cliff may just take another job. So you may be happy with that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it's gonna be somebody at DC Slim. It's gonna be somebody on the staff you may not even like. Somebody on the staff that's on there now, so you may not even like that person. I ain't gonna hold you. Whoever they have.
I don't care who it is, as long as it's not Witt next year.
All right. Hey, Mike says, why do y'all still focus on the season being a playoff team? This personnel and coaching and the players are bad. Let Cliff move and give Witt a better defensive players for another season. Man, y'all better stop making this. Hey. I was with you till you tried to make an excuse for Joe Witt Jr. Man, just how about Joe Witt be better? They all got to be better.
You, Adam Peters has got to have the Joe Witt conversation with DQ when this season is over.
Yeah, Dan better fire. Yeah, I think
I'm with DC Slim.
DC Slim.
I don't want to see either of them back.
I say DC Slim. I actually think that Cliff will be gone. I think Cliff will go to he'll get another job. I think he'll get a college job, to be real with you. I'm starting to think that he's going to get
and you know what? Let that happen. Because this guy couldn't win at Texas Tech with the quarterbacks he had. He couldn't even get to 500 in conference play. Please hire. Please, somebody throw $50 million down the drain and hire Cliff in college and see how that goes for you.
All right,
Please do. So I
Santiago.
can bet against them and I can laugh at you when it happens.
All right, Santiago says I would love to see the team healthy right now and then evaluate the staff. I agree with that too. That's a good point.
I mean, that's fair, Santiago, but you know what? Other coaching staffs have had to deal with injuries as bad or worse than us and have been successful.
True.
So
That's true. Players and
yeah, that's
staff.
the problem.
Players and staff thought this year was going to be sweet. The Hollywood syndrome. Totally agree, Paul.
Absolutely right, Paul.
Totally agree.
And look, not like we helped because we thought it would be sweet too.
I thought it was. Hey, George. I thought we were going to the Super Bowl, buddy.
So did I.
DC Slim. Cliff is so overrated. Yeah, man. Cliff's starting to rub me the wrong way a little bit too. DC Slim. I don't think he's bad, but he's starting to rub me the wrong way. Yeah, true, George. Yeah, we did. We all did. We was all drinking that Kool-Aid, man. We all were, man. You can't even deny it. We all were. So, like, if they did start to sell, right? Well, if they became buyers, right? Would you be mad that there would be mortgage in their future?
I'd be a little concerned because one of the biggest criticisms I had of the last several regimes, not just the last one, but the last several regimes, because this was over 20 years that you saw this under Dan Snyder and the various people that he employed.
Yeah.
You had people who thought this team was much further along the track than what they were.
Mm-hmm.
And they were not dealing in reality at all. And we made mistakes, drafting mistakes, trading away picks when we shouldn't have. All sorts of things we did because we thought we were close. We held on to coaches and gave coaches extensions that didn't deserve them. We did all sorts of things because we didn't look at our situation and be based in reality. And then you go to that last year and you go back to the guy that was on the team that joined up after Harris got it. What's his dang name? And they made those trades at the trade deadline. They traded Payne. They traded Sweat. They traded Chase Young. And that was the first time that you saw this team acknowledge reality and say, this is our reality, and we're now going to start to fix it. So if we start trading away picks this coming May and in 2027 to try to save this season, that is going to be an exercise in delusion. Because I will keep saying it, even if they win tomorrow night, you're talking about 4-5, 2-4 in the NFC, and a tiebreaker situation that makes 10 wins probably unlikely to get in. Only in very specific circumstances. Mainly the one circumstance in this case would be being tied with Seattle. Was the only one you'd get in with. Because you're not going to win a tiebreaker against anybody else at this point. And remember this too. Anybody that gives you a scenario about Washington doing anything that includes sweeping the Eagles it might as well be selling you I'm trying to think of what is it. They might as well be selling you a bridge in Brooklyn, because sweeping the Eagles in the last month of the season is going to be asking way too much, because they're going to be going for a number 1 seed, it looks like to me. So they're not going to take it easy on us in week 18 if it comes down to that.
All right, here we go. Earl Williams. What's going on, Miss? Oh, yeah, this DH's pops, man.
This DH's dad. Hey, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Always appreciate you. Says, if Cliff gets another job, should we promote from within or hire someone else? It's probably going to be the quarterback coach, Pritchard, or Brian Johnson. That's the word I'm hearing. It's going to be one of those two.
And that's a tough one for me, because I can see the benefits in terms of Jaden's development at keeping, Tavita Pritchard or David Blau, whoever it is. I would see the benefits in Anthony Lynn, honestly, as the offensive coordinator, because I think there would be some things that would be changed. I think he would use our talent better. But by the same token, I look at how bad a job Cliff has done this year, and I'm not sure I want somebody that's going to coach in a similar vein. So I kind of might want somebody from the outside as a result of what happened.
See what we got. We don't need a false sense of security. To me speaking, we will get what the Eagles have. To me speaking, we will
I
get
think he
what the
means
Eagles.
we'll get their best, which is
Oh,
he's
okay.
right
Yeah.
about that. We will get their best because
Spending.
they won't have any. They might have a division clinched by week 16,
Oh, I
but
got
they
you. He
won't
said
have any
spending.
high
Spending.
seeds clinched.
I got it. To me, spending will get you what the
Oh,
Eagles have.
okay.
Got you. Yeah. Spending
Okay.
money. I agree. I agree with that. Fire the whole day. Hey, yo, DC Slim is so consistent.
No, and DC Slim is, and to be fair to DC Slim, he's not wrong either. I mean, this year has been, except for the special teams, I would keep Larry Izzo because he's a great special teams coach. And our special teams, at least until last week, have been a really good unit, one of the better units in the league. This really has been a nightmare from the coaching perspective. It has been truly awful. Dan, Cliff, and Joe Witt, all three have done a rotten job this year. So I get where DC Slim's coming from on that.
Glenn, you always coming on when you about to end the show soon. I swear.
My bad, dog. Man, yo, my bad.
Glenn.
Yo, I
What's
told
going
y'all,
on, Glenn?
nothing much, man. Been a busy day, man. When you're a cheerleader dad, man, you got stuff to do. You got daughters, man. You got.
Nah, I appreciate it. I get it.
Appreciate y'all.
I get it. So your thoughts, man. Well, I'll give you the overall question. Like, what do you think the Commanders should do prior to this trade deadline? Should it be buyers or sellers? What do you think? Or
man, if you really want to do it, you got to be a buyer. You got to be a buyer in the secondary. If you're gonna be a buyer, you got to be buyer back there.
Okay.
And because right now is if you look at it, the secondary is what really hurting us real quick. You can't be a buyer. You're not gonna be a buyer in the wide receiver department, and because that doesn't help you any. If you're gonna be anything in the wide receiver department, you can be a seller. But nobody's buying spoiled goods, right? You can't get nothing for Noah Brown because he ain't been here, right? You can't be. So the guys that are not playing, but if you're gonna be a buyer, the secondary is where you need to be a buyer at, because the secondary, if you look at it, let's be honest, Lattimore hasn't lived up to what he needed to be. All right. So we broke. We have no pick. I know we have no picks. We broke. All right. We broke. We got no cash. And so you don't want to trade players. So at this point, we just got to suck it up. And the question, I mean, you really got to suck it up. But the question was, if we buy as a seller, is we really nothing. Here's the big question though, right? The real question is, how many more games do they need to lose before they start tanking?
Tanking?
I'm not going to say tanking because I think this team has so much pride. They're not going to tank, right? They won't tank. They won't tank. But I think this team has the opportunity. I think what we're going to see if they could ever.
Appreciate you.
All right, Paul. Enjoy, baby, man. Enjoy the baby shower. If we could ever get all the pieces together, right? You'll see what you get. This team is going to look, and let's be honest, this team is going to look totally different next year. Some of the guys that are hurt are not coming back, right? Let's be honest. I'd be surprised if Eckler comes back. I'd be surprised if Dietrich Wise come back. Some of these dudes
Dietrich Wise is not coming back. He's not coming back. I mean, you mean this year or you talking about next year?
Next year.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
That's a good question. Like some of the guys that were hurt that we needed, that we were dependent on, are on 1 year deals or in the last deal of last year of their contract. So what I'm saying is, you're losing a lot of people, and if you have a losing season, last year Washington was the hot place to be, right? Is it still going to be the hot place to be if they don't pull it out this season? Is this going to be where people want to be at?
Oh, my man Mike wants you to do a close up. You want a close up, Glenn? You want to?
Oh man, my bad. Mike, let me change my cameras, man. This is the other one I use. Hold on, Mike, man. Let me switch up for you, brother.
Is that what you're trying to do? Oh, I don't know what he's doing.
I know what he's talking about, man.
Oh, I thought he was talking about. I thought he wanted to get you.
Mike said I look far away. So what I'm gonna do is I gotta switch up, man.
I'm
gonna switch up just for you, Mike.
All right. Give us a close up.
All right, I'm gonna switch up just for you. Let's see if this camera come on.
Glenn's on the Commanders payroll.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna switch up. No green. No, I didn't even change my green screen, man.
You cool.
But that's where it's at, man. That's where I think the Washington Commanders.
He doesn't have his glasses. I know, right? Glenn was cool. I don't know what Mike you tripping.
Yeah,
Mike, what you been drinking today, Mike? I ain't gonna hold you, Mike. What you been drinking today?
Y'all don't know this. Mike says that every time when I'm on my other camera. He says that all the time. So, but what I think, the Commanders, they just need to suck it up and try to play football and try to salvage the season, man. I think there's nothing you can buy, and there's nothing if you try to buy it, what's out there, and what are you willing to give up? Because let's be honest, this team needs the picks, right?
Yeah.
This team
Desperately.
desperately needs the picks to go into the draft. They didn't have all the picks last year. You need the picks this year in the draft. And you got rid of B-Rob, and you really got nothing for him.
Yeah. Would they get a fifth rounder? Would they get
like a fifth rounder, right? So so you're here now, but at this point, it's just suck it up, hope everybody get healthy, and maybe you can pull out some of these tough games. Like defense didn't play bad on this past Monday night, but then offense didn't catch up neither, and you missed opportunities. And that's the way I'm at now. But it does determine. You get to see how smart Adam Peters is now.
Yeah.
So
no, I know. I just think that to your point, Glenn. I mean, I feel like they're gonna stay put, and who they're going to sign next year. I feel like they're not going to. I think a lot of guys will be gone because they're all 1-year deals. I think they're going to get younger. I think they'll probably get younger, and they're going to George and I said this. They're going to take advantage of like Jaden's contract. They're going to go after some people. Like they're going to literally this time. I think they're going to learn from this because they did a lot of risky moves. I ain't gonna hold you. Like 1-year dudes, older dudes. Like now, like even relying on Noah Brown, they're not going to do stuff like that no more. They're going to go after guys because we talked about this. You got Jaden on a rookie deal. You should be trying to go all. This is the time when you are supposed to be going all out. Your quarterback took you to the NFC Championship game. You're supposed to like spend more money now. This is when you're supposed to do it. You ain't gonna do it when you give him the bag. You ain't gonna spend money when you give Jaden the bag. You're supposed to spend money now, or at least if you're not going to work heavy in the draft. I mean, you did a good move. Like don't get it twisted. Getting Laramie Tunsil was a great move. Getting Debo was a really good move. So it's not like you didn't make strong moves, but you kind of got to almost go the route of when you got a player like Jaden Daniels that had instant success. You kind of got to think about going the route of what the Eagles have done. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, also depending on who's on the market too, right? The guys that are on the market, and do they fit what you want to do? Or are they good enough to do what you want to do? You know what I mean? So, Deluxe. What's going on, Deluxe? Is what risky moves? The only risky move I would say in terms of like the rumors of buying and selling would probably be Brian Thomas Jr. That'd be the only risky move I would say.
I think Olave would be risky because of the concussions.
Injuries. Yeah, that would be. Olave probably more risky because you wouldn't know his availability. I think I've always liked Olave. I liked him in college. I think Olave is a smooth route runner. Olave is nice, but to your point, George, I think the risk is like concussions are way like his concussion issues are way too dangerous. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like he can really I would have more issues with that than say a knee injury because I feel like at least a knee injury, it's got everything wrong has to happen. But a concussion, depending on how sensitive a hit, how sensitive that spot is, and within your head and the brain, any jarring situation can knock you out. You know what I mean? So we saw it with Tua. We saw it with
after the Eckler situation, I wouldn't go with anybody else with concussion issues neither.
Yeah, that too.
After having dealing with Eckler situation.
Todd's got a question. Would y'all go after Pickens next year? He's a top wide receiver. Pickens, or do you?
Mike Evans. Mike
old.
Evans is a free agent next year too.
I can't. I'm not gonna get it. Like I'm not gonna get an older quarter wide receiver. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I like Mike Evans a lot, but I'm drafting a wide. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm gonna go with wide receiver, I'm drafting me a wide receiver.
There's too many good ones coming out every year.
Yeah, I'm drafting one. I'd rather draft a wide receiver than pick one up in free agency. I like Mike Evans. Depending on how much Mike Evans, if he try to come here on a discount, yeah, I take Mike Evans. But I'm not paying top dollar for Mike Evans though, because he too is now starting to have that injury. Well, he out for the whole year. He out for the whole year.
I tell you who if you talk about the edge rusher, Joey Bosa is a free agent next year too.
He hasn't been good. Joey for
Joey's a Bills? Yeah, Joey's
he ain't been.
He's gonna be really expensive.
He ain't been Joey in a long time, bro.
Yeah, that too.
It's like getting Von Miller. He ain't been good in a long time.
That's not much. Travis Kelce's a free agent, but I think he's gonna retire.
No, he's retiring. He ain't
about football. He ain't about football no more.
Yeah, exactly.
He ain't about football no more. Yeah. Look at my man Paul cutting it. Oh yeah, Ray Essence out there. It's crazy. Oh, okay. Let's see.
It's not too many defensive guys or different backs, that you're willing to pay.
Evans
a free agent.
which one would? Oh, I'm taking Debo. I'm taking Debo over
I'll
Evans.
take Debo because he's
bring
younger,
it
but I'm not sure I'd sign either.
Well, because of age. Because of age. Just not. I'm
bringing Debo. Yeah.
I think Evans is a better receiver. Don't get it twisted. Like all that being said, I think Evans is a better receiver than Debo. But age, Debo is younger. I'm taking Debo over Evans because
I take Debo. Yeah, I'm taking Debo as well. Debo's
but
my guy.
if you're telling me who's a better receiver, like real receiver, oh yeah, by far it's Evans. Like Evans has 1,000 yards every year. Like every year. Like he's that. It don't matter who the quarterback is. He's that good. Mike Evans is underrated. Yeah. He's so good. I would rather sign Phillips at edge. At edge for Miami over Bosa. Yeah, I agree with that.
I like that.
I agree. I agree with that too.
Oh, DC Slim, I appreciate you, my guy. You are my guy. We have a coaching and evaluation of players problem. Fix that, and we can go along. I do think we have an issue with evaluating players.
But
I agree with that.
Here's the thing, though.
I agree with you, DC Slim. Go ahead.
He's not going to get rid of his coach.
Oh, we know though. I think folks. I know. I told the DC Slim that. I think he won't. I think that
during the season won't.
No, I'm being real. I do think, like, if you tell me, depending on how the season goes, I think it's very important, like how the season goes. I do think that there's a chance if the season is still because he fixed that. Like, I don't care anybody tells me he fixed that. He went in and said, you know what, hey Joe, we gonna simplify things. This ain't working. I know Coach talk. Like he was like, he ain't throwing nobody in the bus. We gonna fix this. That ain't Joe Witt. That's him. Like, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna simplify this. And you saw a better product because of it. But I will say this though, like if Joe Witt, if they continue to struggle, I think Joe Witt will lose his gig. I don't know who's gonna replace him, but Joe Witt will lose his gig. And I do think Cliff's gone regardless, though. I do think Cliff's gone regardless. I think he's going, not fired. I think he's going to take another job somewhere.
It depends on how they finish. To me,
that too. That's a possible. I'm not denying that.
It depends on how they finish. But you know, so we talk about, and I know you guys got to go. But you talk about free agent right that's out there. I mean, Khalil Mack is too old. He'll be free agent. Is this the year that you get Hassan Reddick because he's a free agent too? After this year, he's like 30. He's like 31, 32, something like that.
Now? I wanted him a couple years ago.
I know that's why I brought it up because we wanted him a couple years ago. But he's 31, 32. He ended up with he went to Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, that's already good. How that's a good one. I like it.
He's like 31 or 32. And do you pull them? And Trey Hendrickson is still out there. Do you pull the money on Trey?
They're not going to. He gonna be a free agent though, right?
He'll be a free agent. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be a free agent.
He's gonna be a free agent.
You pay for that. You pay for it.
Do you pay for that this time?
Yeah, you pay. You got the money. You got the money. You don't. There's no need. There's like that's what I'm saying. Like there's no. You're gonna eventually have to make moves to get to fix what your weaknesses are. Like that's what it is. You're gonna have to make. There's no. Unless you're going. All right. This is my thing. Unless you're going to draft the edge rusher. Unless you're going to draft the edge rusher with your first pick, you better sign him. And truth be told, you can do both. Why am I tripping? You can do both. You can sign him and draft the edge rusher. So you have two ends now.
Yeah.
But know what? You got Doris Armstrong, who's had a good year. So let me take that back.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
They did Doris wrong though, man. He should have went back in the game after the hamstring.
I know. I know. We talked about that. Glenn.
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that.
We was like, he had a hamstring. I was like, he shouldn't be playing. I said that he should not be playing.
Yeah,
he's with Tampa. How old is he? Is 31. You're right. He is 31 years old.
Yeah, he's like 31 years old. So that's still young. Yeah, so Hassan Reddick will be a free agent. Trey Hendrickson will be a free agent.
I'm sorry, DC Slim. We have another one. I'm sorry, another super chat. Thank you, DC Slim. Second, gotta fire. They ain't gotta fire Cliff and Joe, or he gets fired.
Look, Adam Peters has got to have the conversation with him.
Hey, DC Slim, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I be disagreeing with some of this stuff, but you are one of the more entertaining. You're one of the more entertaining people I know. Period, bro. Like you're hilarious to me because it's like you're consistent with it. Like you're very consistent.
Everybody wants Joe fired though. I mean, everybody wants Joe fired though. Everybody wants Joe fired more so than Cliff.
I do.
I don't want Cliff fired though.
I'll take both of this. I'll take either at this point.
But all right, George. Here's my thing about Cliff. Right, Cliff has, and I don't want to make an excuse, but Cliff has an excuse. He has not been at full strength all year long. And so do you blame Cliff when you don't have? Do you blame Cliff because you don't have Jaden or you don't have Terry who had only played 27 snaps with each other?
He's a good point.
So do you blame the OC because your guy, your weapon? You're playing with Chris Moore than Luke McCaffrey, and I know Mike. I'm sorry, but Luke is not that guy.
These are all fair. These are all fair points, Glenn.
So do you fire Cliff for that? You don't.
Here's why you do. He is not maximizing his talent. We have seen early in the season, running back by committee was your best way to go with the running game. He has abandoned that, and our running game has given us nothing. You can talk about, he hasn't had this guy. He runs Zach Ertz old rear end out there who can't turn and get a first down anymore when he catches the ball. Every time he catches the ball, he falls down. And the
George,
one time Ben Sinnott gets in there, he actually gets an explosive play. He won't use all his talent. And because of those injuries,
this last year, George,
it's even more incumbent upon you to try to use other players and to get creative. And instead, he's been too stubborn and too much just doing the same old thing.
Right.
So, yes, the injuries are not his fault, and the holdout isn't his fault, but he has not done the things he should do, and that's why I will be happy if he's walking out the door in January.
Glenn, you go next. Mike, you are consistent too. I want to say that you are consistent.
So, George, we didn't say any of this last year because Zach Ertz was doing the exact same thing. Go back to the Pittsburgh game. He was falling down last year, right? When it was winning football games. So what I'm thinking is because the team is losing, now we want to expose all this stuff. It is not. This is not just this year's problem. Some of these problems existed last year, and the stories was different, right? And the conversation was different. If this team had won those last 2 games, the last 3 games that they were in, the Bears game, and again, we're not having this conversation. So my thing is, let's be honest with it. The problem always exists, but the win was bailing them out, right? We knew Zach Ertz was old. We knew Zach Ertz was old coming into the season. We knew Bobby Wagner was old coming into the season. We hoped they would duplicate what they did last year, and they're not. And so now we can't blame that on Cliff. We blame that on Adam Peters because he didn't bring anybody in to replace them or to push them forward.
And that's fine. But you are obligated. Well, you are not obligated. You should, as a coach, when it's not working, be willing to change and be willing to try something different. And he's not. And it's hard. And again, it'd be one thing. It would be one thing if I wasn't watching other teams with similar or even worse injury lists succeeding with guys or who are who this and who that, but it's because their coaches are willing to do things differently. They're willing to scheme to their talent. I would argue vociferously that Cliff is not schemed to his talent at all. He's, I'm sorry, the Chris Moore thing really annoys me because even though Jalen Lane was terrible last week, and I know neither of you guys are big Luke fans, I would rather see Jalen Lane and Luke than Chris Moore because I've watched Chris Moore drop enough passes, and I've kind of had enough of that. And I've kind of had it, and now Zach Ertz starting to drop them. So it's like, if you've got Sinnott and Bates, use them. Hell, we saw them use Sinnott and Bates in the pattern, and they actually produced last week. So what are we talking about here? You've got running backs you can throw to. I know Eckler's not there, but you can throw to McNichols. You can throw to Krosky Merritt. You're not doing it. The point is, you've got to be willing to try everything instead of letting this season die going, oh, well, we could have done this, we could have done that. That's my problem with Cliff. And it's not all his fault, but enough of it's his fault that, frankly, goodbye. I'm happy to say goodbye to him when this year's over.
So I kind of agree with Glenn. I won't lie to you because I feel like he has lost a lot of dudes, and this offense has still been able to be up there. They're like, are they in the top 10? We're losing a lot.
They're top 5 offense. They're top 5 offense.
So I don't get I feel like people. I said this to one of my best friends. We had this discussion because Cliff. I was saying like Cliff annoys me too. Like I'm not like Cliff has blame. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, he has blame.
He has blame in sequencing. Like I feel like his sequencing really bothers me. But I think we all are kind of. We're starting to become a real spoiled fan base at times. I'm not gonna lie to you guys because when you have a guy like Scott Turner as your offensive coordinator, and some of the coordinators we've had here over the last some odd years, I can name a bunch of bad coordinators. Other than the Shanahans, I can name a bunch of bad coordinators we've had, guys who schemed up offense for us. And other than Shanahan and Zorn, not Zorn, and Gruden, we've had some bad guys calling offense here.
Mm-hmm.
Like we actually have a top 10 offense. Like in terms of yardage. So I'm gonna use this. It really could be worse. It really could be worse. That's all I'm saying. Like I get like Cliff has his issues. Don't get it twisted. Cliff definitely has his issues. Just like if you look at Atlanta fans, they were complaining about Kyle Shanahan, his issues, and that's why they didn't win the Super Bowl. Kyle is a great offensive coordinator in terms of certain points, but Kyle does lack certain things in terms of closing games, right? All I'm saying is like Cliff has his flaws, but there are way worse offensive coordinators in the league than Cliff Kingsbury.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. I don't get it twisted. He frustrates me too. That Chiefs game against the Chiefs, I annoyed the bejesus out of me.
He frustrates me too.
To George's point about not taking advantage of like the running game and whatever. I totally agree with you, George. Like I totally agree. But I'm just saying, like, it could be when you look at the landscape. I really look at the Cleveland Browns. Look at the landscape of like dudes who are calling plays. You're gonna sit there. You're gonna sit there and be like, damn. At least like Cliff can come up with offense with Marcus Mariota. Look at all other places Marcus Mariota has ever been at. Has he ever put up the numbers he's put up with Cliff? Then he's done with Cliff.
So
that's all I'm saying. Like I get it. Like I'm with everybody. I get it when it comes to Cliff. Yeah. I get it. He has issues. I get it. But I'm just saying it could be far worse.
Question. Play question. I mean, 3rd and 1. I want you to run. 3rd and 1. I want you to run the football. Right. 4th and 1. Run the football. My question is, and I think when we look at it, is it the play call, George, for you, or is it the execution by the players?
It is primarily the play calling and how he has deployed our players this year. Now, I just want to make this point. 15th in total offense, 17th in scoring offense. So that's where they're at. Just looked it up on ESPN. Right. That's average. That's their average.
But you know what? But that's fair. That's fair. But you're doing that with a backup quarterback for a lot of them.
I understand that.
So the point is, but
when they've had Jaden, they haven't produced.
When they had Jaden, against the Giants, they scored how many points?
They've scored 21. That wasn't really great offense in that game.
The Chargers, they scored how much?
They scored 27. That's the best offensive game they had.
James only played 3 games. James only played 3 games this year.
And then they only scored 7 last week against the Chiefs.
No, to Jaden. I'm talking about with Jaden. How many with Jaden? How many games with Jaden? Well, only with Jaden, because this is what we got it depending on
the Packers quarterback. 10. They got 10 with the Packers.
18 against the Packers. They had 18 with the Packers.
Or 18. Yeah, they got the one at the end.
18 with the Packers. All right, 18 with the Packers. So with 3 starts. So name all the Jaden starts. 3 starts, right? Packers, the Packers, like the Giants, the Packers, the 4 starts actually. Like the Giants, the Packers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cowboys.
He left early. He got hurt, but he still played that game. So I'm not going to take that away. And we're talking about the Chargers.
And the Chargers.
All right, 4 games. You're not, again, I get like to do that with a backup quarterback is better than whatever. Like, oh no, I don't think let me be real. Let me say this again. Look at Marcus Mariota prior to coming here.
No, it's true.
And tell me that you think that he can give you a top 20 offense. Real talk. Like, I'm not even being like real talk. That's not if you put Marcus Mariota with, all right, let me be fair. You put Marcus Mariota.
I mean, only in a couple of years in Tennessee was that even true.
And really, real talk, in Tennessee, he's even the year that he won the postseason game. Look at his stats that year. He was barely throwing for 100 yards. Like he was throwing for 150. Here he throws for 200. He throws for 220.
No, I know.
So it's like he don't have number 1 wide receivers. So Terry's out. He could still get the ball to other end. You never got that in other places. He had he had better receivers in Tennessee, and he was barely getting them the ball. I'm just saying, like, I get it. I'm just saying it could be worse. That's all I'm saying.
It could be worse, but it's I'm sorry, but it's risible when you're watching other teams succeed with lesser talent.
Who would you bring in? Who would you bring in?
It's an offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Because I assume he's going to get fired in Miami. I would have McDaniel. Because as an offensive coordinator, he's been very good.
No, he's good. That's a fair one. That's a good one.
So that's who that would be choice number 1.
All right.
And I'm trying to think. There's another offensive coordinator who's pretty good, who's probably going to get the gate, and I'm trying to think of who it is. And I'm drawing a blank. McDaniel would be choice number 1, assuming he gets pink slipped in Miami, which I think will happen.
A head coach who's going to be fired? He's a head coach.
I'm trying to think like
Because the offensive coordinator is
Oh,
good, he's not getting
shucks.
fired.
Oh, you know what? Hey, okay. Brian Dable was a good offensive coordinator. I know he's a
not getting
terrible head
fired.
coach, but
He ain't getting fired.
He's not getting fired.
He's not getting fired.
ooh, I would have agreed with you until the last few weeks, but the
He ain't
jungle
getting
drums
fired.
have been starting to beat up there.
He drafted that. He drafted that dude. They're running his
No,
system.
I think he shouldn't be. I think because of that, he shouldn't be. But I don't know if he's in that. I don't know if he's safe now because of some of the way they've lost these games, especially the way they lost that Denver game.
Here we go. Taj, real talking. The truth is always in the middle. I don't think Cliff was as good as numbers last year, but don't think he's as bad. Everyone is making him this year. Yeah. Taj, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I could tell you don't like Cliff though. I can hold you. I can tell you don't like Cliff. I can tell. Cause Taj is very consistent. You can tell when Taj likes somebody, doesn't like somebody. Like Taj don't like Jordan McGee either, folks. I'm letting y'all know this. I'm putting that on blast. He don't like my man Jordan McGee. I think Jordan McGee is okay. I think Jordan's good, actually. Taj, yes, I think Jordan McGee's good. I think he's really good. Here you go. DC Slim says stats are the stats are a poll for a drunk man to lean on. Y'all loyalties are becoming delusional. Y'all scared to say the coaches are trash.
No, I think Joe Witt, DC Slim, Joe Witt is trash. No, I agree with everyone. Joe Witt is trash, right? Joe Witt. I've never been a Joe Witt fan. I just think with all the weapons, with all the weapons, Cliff is different. Not saying Cliff had all his weapons, then I would say Cliff Kingsbury, would be trash if this team wasn't doing what they needed to do. But with his weapons, right? But when you don't have your starting quarterback, when you don't have a Debo Samuel, you go to a game where you have Chris Moore, Luke McCaffrey, a rookie Jayden Lane, and those are your receivers for the game.
Wow, I know. I'm with you.
I'm sorry. I don't put that. And I mean, if I got to put the backup quarterback to go in for the team we play, where I coach at, the backup quarterback, or you put the kid that got a D1 offer, it's two different levels. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm looking at. Do I think Cliff is going after this year? Sure. I think there's a job that opened up. I don't think
he's getting a job. He's getting a good job somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think, and I also think he's having fun. If you listen to his press, I don't think he's having fun like he was last year.
Yeah, I don't think he is either. I ain't gonna hold you.
I don't think he's having fun. So
yeah,
you may get your wish sooner than later.
Facts. I agree with that. He said Terry is a big piece. All talk all the damn time. Says Terry's a big piece of Cliff's offense. He needs him to stretch the defense. We haven't had that since Terry's been out. Agreed. And he lost without him. We got a glimpse of how important Terry was against the Chiefs. Totally agree
with that.
Totally. But to me, that's the big indictment is you have got to try to make do with what you have. You talked about Scott Turner.
You think
the other night against the Chiefs looked a lot like a game that Scott Turner would have called.
I agree. I agree with that.
That's a pretty big indictment of the coach, in my opinion.
I agree with that, but I will say this though. The talent, wide receivers are wide receivers. Unless you have, and this is the truth. So you gotta this is what I'm talking about. There's a reason why, the Wes Welkers, Edelman, Deion Branch, and all of them look good when they were in New England. Know why? Because they had Tom Brady. If they were playing with Marcus Mariota, you wouldn't know who they are. So you're playing with to what he's saying, losing. You're talking about you got to make you. No, if you don't got talent on the outside, you can't make it do unless you got one of them as your quarterback. If you're talking about trying to put up numbers as Mariota with those dudes out there, no knock on any of them dudes. No knock on them. You know, Debo is playing hurt, so you're not even getting a healthy Debo, right? You're not going to put up numbers. I don't care what it is. Just because you are on a team doesn't mean you're going to put up numbers with that quarterback or said receivers. If your receivers can't beat one-on-one coverage and get a lot of space out of it, that's a problem. You can't make a backup quarterback thread the needle when he's not that type of quarterback. It all goes hand in hand. If you got a tight end who falls over himself and falls down all the time and you're starting to drop the ball, you can't help with that. Help that. Again, I ain't gonna lie. If y'all talking about running the football, Cliff is pissing me off. That's a fact. He is pissing me off.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna come in and say when on a passing game situation, there's limitations on that team. Like it or not, there's limitations on that team when they got what weapons they have. And that's more of an indictment than Adam Peters, to be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
That is more of an indictment than Adam Peters. Question for the panel: who is responsible for players' development? That is a great question.
Shoot, each individual position coach.
Yeah, that's a good question. I like that question. That is a fair question. Because I think the player development goes to, like, you still gotta be talented. I do believe that. Like, if you're talented and you have and you're falling backwards, that's a different thing. So I would say definitely, I think that Joe Witt. I'm sorry, I'm just being real. I'm not trying to be hard on this dude, but like, there is, to me, on his side of the ball as a coach, he's definitely not doing the job. I don't look at the receivers the receivers they have as individuals that I'm worried like their development. Like, I feel like Luke McCaffrey is who Luke McCaffrey is. No knock, and that's who he is. I feel like he's gotten, if you want to be real, he's gotten better this year, to be real with you. So I don't know how we can even knock that. Like, he's gotten better, right? That's improvement from last year. Debo was playing well till he got hurt. So is that like, he individually was all right, but he's always been good. That's just a talented dude. Like, when we talk about people like Chris Moore and company, like, that's not player development. They're like journeymen. Journeyman receivers are who you are. Like, I'm not going to look, dude. I ain't gonna hold you. I hoop and I coach. I coach basketball. They some dudes you just can't make better. I'm sorry. You can try all you want. You can be there working on the jumper. You can be telling, hey, follow through, man. Come on, buddy. I've made certain kids better. Like, I'm just being real. Like in shooting. But there's some dudes, some kids, like, I spent hours in the gym isolated. Me and my brother coach a basketball team. My brother would run practice. I'll take a kid with me, and I'm basically there hours, all practice, trying to help a kid learn how to shoot a J, period. And I ain't talking about just shoot a J, like in terms of form and getting the ball to the rim. It wasn't happening. I was like, yeah, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. This ain't your sport. You ain't gonna get to this level. It is what it is. So sometimes, bro, the talent ain't getting any better. You are who you are sometimes. Some dudes, yes, you know that's in them and you can bring it out of them. That's a fact. But some dudes, that's who they are. Like, I'm not going to ask, like, for instance, and again, for certain, like, I can make Luke McCaffrey a good slot receiver, but I'm not going to, like, I know if I'm investing time to make him a good one-on-one out on the outside, burning past people, no, I'm failing that because I know that's not going to ever be his strength. But I can make him a really good slot receiver, though. Like, that's the development part. And I think he has done that if you look at it, right? But other individuals, no, I'm not gonna say development on certain things. Oh, Adam has, DC Slim has another comment. Appreciate you, my guy. So Adam buys the food the coaches get dinner ready.
And I agree with that. It's got to be the coaches. Todd said the same thing too. You know, it is the position coach's job. We talked about Daryl Tapp when you went to camp last year. Yeah. That is the positions coach's job to get the players ready. It is the coordinator's job to make sure that everyone understands the game plan, and the position coaches got to make sure they can execute.
Not every. Let me even correct that. I'm gonna correct you. Has Chris Paul gotten better?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yes, you're right.
Chris Paul.
You could make the argument. I know this is what people think he got worse. Like, I don't think, real talk, I don't think Brandon, from what I heard, Brandon Coleman ain't get worse. I think they said Chris Paul just got 10 times better.
He got better.
So I'm just be like, if you want to even go there, like, and know it, the optics look different, but like, you can say Chris Paul got better. But I'm with you. I think for like younger, like I could say that like Jayden took a step back compared to whatever. But also the body of work is so small though. You know what I'm saying? The body of work is so small. Oh, he said, my bad. You're right. I see it. My bad, Todd. You're right. Every young player from the second year. I'm sorry. Got you. Second year. My bad, bro. Yeah, I guess. But I guess Ben Sinnott got better. Because he didn't do nothing his first year. So Ben Sinnott got better. Whatever that works. Ben Sinnott got better. He did more this year. Ben Sinnott got better. You know what I'm saying? But you're right, though. Other than
and Sinnott deserves more opportunities, is what he deserves.
Yeah, I think the talent is fine. I I mean, what? Brandon Coleman. I guess you could say he got worse. I don't know if he got worse. I don't. He played
We
good.
don't.
He
We have
played
a
good.
small body.
You know what?
We have a small body of work
And
on
real
Brandon
talk,
Coleman.
he played. Real talk. Did he play good against Kansas City at tackle? Yeah, he did. So was he worse? Did he get worse? I don't know. To be real with you,
let's be honest. I mean, somebody had to be the odd man out, right? When Sam came back, right? Somebody again. You're not gonna draft a rookie, right? You're not gonna draft a rookie high as a tackle and not play him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So Coleman was that guy. Said, hey, if we honest, if Larry Tunsil never comes here, Brandon Coleman's a starter on this team.
Yeah, definitely, he would be a starter. He would definitely be a starter.
So is that him or is that on personnel? You see what I'm saying?
He had to change positions too. He had to change
positions.
Yeah. I agree. I'm arguing.
So those are the type of things that we can look at.
All right, we do got to end this stream.
Yeah.
I do got to eat. I got to prepare my dinner. But you know what? This has been This is dope. This has been a lively pod. My man George bringing fire. George, I appreciate your fire, George.
Plus Saturday Night Man too. Saturday Night Man and Vito.
Glenn came in from the bullpen and gave us valuable innings again.
Exactly. And you know what? Yeah. Shout out to Jay Cargill, champion. That's my girl. She's
you know what time it is, babe.
I love
Jay. Did you see her last night with the Black Panther outfit on?
No, I missed it though. I missed it. I heard
Smack that dog. Yeah, it was like
that. I love me some Jade. Yeah. Oh, did he win?
Nah, he ain't win. Truth be told, my prediction is nobody's gonna win this match, but that's a whole different story.
I heard you're not the only one. Somebody said the same thing. I heard somebody say the same thing. Yeah, Jade won. Yeah.
Jade won.
What is they doing? Are they doing Saturday night's main event tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah. On what channel? Because they're not doing it on NBC.
Oh, Peacock.
It's on Peacock.
Oh, I'll have to catch that later then.
George, is it my left eye? When you see me look over to my left eye, I'm watching.
Like I said, you've been watching that. I got horse racing on. I got the Breeders' Cup on, so I do the same thing.
DC Slim, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
But you know what, DC Slim.
You know, again, I know. I appreciate y'all pulling up on a Saturday, man. I know, right? This totally different. But hey, guess what? Tomorrow you got us on for the pre and post game for the Commanders Seahawks Sunday night game. So pregame we're gonna be on at 7, and then also right after the game for the post game show. So make sure y'all pull up. Oh, don't forget to like again. Yes, we better yes. We better win for 81. For 81 for our month. We better win for Art.
We better win for Art.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Let's go, Luke. God, no.
Everybody's gonna be in the house. Everybody's gonna be in the house, man. Everybody, we gotta win for 81.
Yeah, everybody.
We gotta win for 81 and win to keep some hope of the season.
I know, but for the hope, man. Keep hope alive, man. Keep hope alive, definitely. But also make sure y'all subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel. Please also hit that like button right now while you're here. Hit the like button. If you haven't, hit that red subscribe button as well. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to the audio podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. All right, man. We appreciate y'all for pulling up. You guys are dope, man. Man, Mike, you know you my guy. You know I like playing around with you. You my guy. You already know this, man. It's all jokes. You know I'm just joking around. I showed all your chats, so you already knew I was joking. I just showed all your chats. I didn't ban you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ban you like I could have banned you. Put you in timeout for real, but I didn't because I fooled with you. You my guy. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. Ayedig, deuces. We are out. Peace.